In this video, I'm gonna share with you what I have learned personally from watching over 200 hours of music production tutorials and courses, and I'm gonna summarize all of those things I've learned in 8 very useful tips you can use for your music production journey today. My name is David Fritz. Before I start this tutorial, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also make sure to follow me on my Spotify. The song you're listening to right now in the background is called Suave. Definitely check that out, and let's get straight into the video. So the first thing I definitely learned is that there is no set in stone rule for compressors. It doesn't really matter if using 0 millisecond of attack time or if you're using 20 milliseconds. It always depends on what kind of effect you want to create. If you want the transient to go through, you obviously need to increase the attack time. If you don't want the transient to get through, you need to decrease it again. The same is with the compression type. If you want 3:1 or 2:1 or 4:1, depends definitely on the threshold and where exactly do you put it. So if someone comes and says, hey, you have to put on 3:1, it's exactly 0.1 milliseconds attack time and 44 seconds of release time, you can pretty know sure that this person doesn't really know a lot about music production. Use your hearing and connect it to what kind of effect you want to cause with the compressor. The second thing I've learned is that learning your DAW, FL Studio or Ableton is definitely priority. It's really important. I can speak for myself. I've produced for just 2 years now, and there's still a lot of things I didn't learn about FL Studio, so I'm putting in the effort to learn a lot of shortcuts. You need to know a lot of extra things you don't know, articulator tools. There's so many things I just learned recently, even though I learned music production for every single year for 2 years, so definitely make sure to learn your DAW completely. The third thing I've learned is including your mindset, and that is following. No other producer's ideas are better than yours. You are already unique as an artist. If you started a year ago, or if you already started making music for 10 years, your ideas are exactly how they are. Just because James Hype's tracks are listened to 10 million times doesn't mean that he's more unique than you. He just knows how to advertise his music, but what you have to basically focus on is just to get really good at developing your own style, and the way how you are already now is already unique enough. And with this, we're also coming to the fourth point, and that is 50% of the success of the music producer comes from the advertising. Now you can obviously find your own ways to advertise your music. I personally do it through my YouTube videos. If I'm DJing, I'm playing my tracks in front of people, but every person has his own way to find advertising skills. I also release a few tracks with record label. Make sure you check them out, by the way. Other people just release music by showing it to their friends. Some people don't want to release it to a lot of people. Some other people don't even want to show their music to a lot of people. But 50% is definitely coming from how you advertise your music. The fifth thing is definitely a controversial one, and that is start mixing while you are producing. I personally believe that you should definitely start a little bit using some plugins, which are usually involved in the mixing process. For example, using a reverb enhances the sounds you're already using anyway. Don't get too hung up on, you have to use this filter exactly this way. This is for the later proper mixing stage, but while you're producing, you're saving yourself heaps of time afterwards as well. If you start mixing a little bit, but still focus with your main intention on the production and the sound design process, and after that you can go in the detail, but a little bit of mixing is always good, and it saves you heaps of time. The sixth thing I've learned from watching over 200 hours of music production tutorials is that the sample selection is way more important than the mixing process. Think about it like that. Imagine you're DJ and you're playing your tracks in front of a lot of people. You can have the greatest mixing skills and know how to use the jog wheel. You know exactly how to use reverb on the decks. But if the song selection is not great, you can use whatever effect you want, and the songs are not, people are not going to dance to it. And it's the same with music production. The sample selection, the sound selection you're having is making 80% of the whole track. Mixing is just enhancing what you already got there. So focus is your main intention for looking for the right samples. Spend some time actually sitting down for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours to find the right samples where you know that they match with each other and they are making sense as a whole piece in a whole track. The seventh thing I've learned is that buying yourself a music production course is way more efficient than watching YouTube tutorials. I've personally realized that when I realized for my tech house tracks that my bass line and my kick down doesn't sound really right and doesn't sound powerful and strong, I realized I had to put a lot of effort into getting better in this specific area. But YouTube tutorials didn't really bring me there. So basically what I did, I invested $50 into a music production course, which specifically taught me how I can mix the kick and the bass better. So when I actually produced after that, I had straight away better results, better tracks. They sounded better on every single system. I'm planning as well to create a music production course. Please comment below if that's something you would possibly be interested in, because I have a lot of knowledge and I definitely want to teach people a lot of things, and I think it would benefit definitely everyone. So please comment below if you think that is a good idea or if it's not a good idea. The last tip I would give you is me personally as a producer, not about the technical side, I'm more talking about the artist side, is get away from the screen and listen to the music. We all know that music production is a very technical process. We all know that music production, a lot of times we're looking at the screen, we're looking at the compressors, we're looking at all the plugins and all the fancy plugins, how they look like and stuff, and it's very visual. But then we forget that music production is an art. You need to focus on hearing. If you use a compressor, don't just use a compressor because you saw it in one of my music production tutorials. Use a compressor because you hear the difference and you know that it makes sense to use it here. Same with saturation knobs, same with filters, same with everything. Close your eyes and listen to music. What is it telling you? What feelings does it create inside of yourself? And with that, you're getting away from the screen and you focus way on creating art rather than thinking about the visuals, because the end product is everything that matters, and people are just going to hear the track. They're not going to see the plugins. They're not going to see the plugins. They're not going to see anything what you did in the DAW. They just hear the track, and that's exactly what you should focus on as well after using all those fancy plugins you bought. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for staying here with me until the end of the video. I would really thank you for all the support you give me the last few weeks. My channel is getting bigger and bigger. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that it's getting really good, and I'm really happy to give you all those feedbacks and all the comments I'm getting. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel again. My name is David Fritz, and I hope I could help you a little bit with this video to get better in your music production journey.